Everyone, welcome back to Same Chick, Different Day. I'm your host, Chick Soto, and joining me for episode number 2 is my co-host, Justin Metzger, aka El Güero. How you doing, bro?
What's good, Chick? We're back. We made it to episode 2.
We did. We had a good enough amount of people that liked us so far. So we'll see if we can continue this come up and bring some entertainment to the world.
We appreciate your guys' support. We're having fun with it. So keep bringing them to you for now.
Keep subscribing, keep liking, all the good stuff, man. We're going to keep bringing you guys some heat. And before we even get started, man, how was your weekend? I know you had a little exciting little Rizz going on the Tinder.
Some football Rizz. We can take a look. We can take a look if you want.
Yeah. Okay. You did give me some messages that were pretty funny, bro. And I'm gonna go ahead and read a little bit about this back and forth conversation.
You're putting it on the screen for
them
to
put
see?
It on the screen for everyone to see. So
all right, we'll keep her identity. We'll keep her identity safe. We don't want to throw any girls under the bus for talking to me.
Yeah, so. For all you young whippersnappers who like the word Rizz, we're gonna show you what some real old school Rizz is right cool. Here.
We know what Rizz means. Yeah.
All right, man. So it looks like you hit her up and you were just like, what do you think my odds are of fumbling? And I like
coming in with the odds, where we like getting good odds, and if we're getting even money, they'll sound like pretty good odds to me. So I want to see where I stood right out the gate.
You went straight you went straight to generate on the start of the message. So I like that. She hit you back with it's 2:30 a.m. on Tinder. I'd say 50-50. And you hit her with that Dumb and Dumber.
Those aren't too bad at odds to me. Yeah, hit her with the Dumb and Dumber meme.
Yeah, and that got you right in the field goal range right there. Look at that.
So you're saying there's a chance. Hey, but we saw this weekend just getting into field goal range might not be enough.
Ooh, yeah, you're right.
Four of the five kickers that missed this weekend, their teams lost. So the only kick 49ers Moody missed his kick, but that was also a block. So field goal range, we know we need to get a little bit closer, even if it's Tinder.
All right, so let's see if we can get you within the under the 40-yard range.
All right.
So let's see as we go through the messages here. It says so you reply with her to a football fan too. Dare I ask who you have tomorrow?
Yeah, and she wasn't able to give me any picks, so we can't build any parlays off of her. But we'll give her.
Yeah, but she lost some points saying she's a Broncos fan. But again, she followed it up with she's not really a football fan. But then this is where it got interesting right here. And you know me, I'm a big Raider hater. So I love this next message that she said, as long as you're not a Raiders fan, then we good.
Yeah, I let her know I'm not a felon. I grew up in a nice suburban neighborhood in the greater Seattle area. We don't support the Raiders around here.
Little Kirkland action, huh? Little Costco love.
Yeah, a little Costco Kirkland signature.
Man, anytime we can get some Raider hater on the pod, I'm definitely going to share that. But let's see how how it closed out here. So it looks like she put you on the 20-yard line. Okay. Yep. The not being a felon, it helped you. That should be a chip shot of you put that in there. Chip shot for the field goal. All right.
We're going for the touchdown though, baby.
Yep. And then it ended with you getting her number and you gave her yours, man.
Yeah,
so
the reservation got me to the 10, and I guess when we meet up, we'll have to see how much further we can, if we can get it into the end zone or not.
Hey, man. Well, good job. Good job. I like the way that this message played out. I think you should definitely go for her because she does not like the Raiders and she knows better. So give her a chance.
And she's got some football knowledge. I was digging it. So good, nice banter for ladies. Pay attention if you're on Tinder.
I love it, man. You're just gonna have to work on making her not a Broncos fan.
Yeah, no one. I think I had a message in there too. No one's perfect.
Hell yeah. Well, guys, we got a great show for you guys today. Episode 2, we're going to discuss the divisional round. We're going to let you know about the bets that we hit, the ones we missed, give you guys our picks for the conference championship games. But there's going to be a little twist on how we choose the conference championship bets. So we're excited to share with you guys that. And we also have our first official interview with a special guest. And the artist is known as Illus. He's a professional glassblower, and he's actually celebrating his 10-year anniversary as a glassblower here in Seattle. So we're excited to talk to him and see what he's got to share with us about the industry, because it's definitely an interesting industry. I told him, I was like, most people grow up trying to be like lawyers and shit. Nobody grows up saying they want to be a glassblower. So we'll see what got him into that. And before we even get started, too, I just want to give a shout out to my boy Danny. I was in the 3rd fantasy football league, and I forgot to shout him out in the first episode. So, Danny, congrats on winning the championship. He was actually a rookie, and he had the beginner's luck, and he knocked me out of the divisional round, I guess you can say. No, the championship round. No, wait, in fantasy.
Semifinal round. Yeah, and from what I heard, he didn't just beat you; he beat them cheeks. That's the word. That's the word on the street. You forgot to mention that last week to our viewers, my guy.
All right, you guys can see the score here. He did beat my cheeks, bro. He spread them. He would have scored over 220 if it wasn't for the Cowboys sucking ass and getting him -4. But he got about 215, 218 on me, and I had no shot. But yeah, he had a phenomenal team. So congrats, Danny. We'll see how you do next year, because that beginner's luck it works for that first year, but after that you're gonna get a reality check, boy. But yeah, man, let's get started. Justin, any Seahawk news, man? Coaching? I know we're in the coaching carousel right now.
A little bit of a slow week for my Hawks. Just kind of read you a tweet here about the coaching. Second round of interviews. We got Seahawks are setting up second interviews with Panthers DC Ejiro Evero, Raiders DC Patrick Graham, Giants OC Mike Kafka, and Rams DC Raheem Morris. None of those are really getting me too excited. They did set up a second interview with Dan Quinn as well, which could be a good one. But I'm still rooting for Ben Johnson. I think I love what's going on for the Lions over there, and I think he'd be having an offensive minded coach would be kind of fun, something we haven't had here in a long time, pretty much since Mike Holmgren really here in Seattle. So
yeah, man, I mean, if you guys are going with DCs, might as well just kept Pete.
Yeah, it just doesn't, it feels like if they're trying to shake things up, like let's shake things up, and no hate on these guys, but I personally don't even know who a lot of these guys are, and I'm a pretty big football fan.
I mean, you guys have the Giants OC in there, so
Giants offensive coordinator, not an offense that's really turning a lot of heads. Yeah. So, shout out Danny DeVito or Tommy DeVito. Tommy DeVito.
Same difference. Anyways, we have stuff for the Chargers. It's kind of the same thing. Nothing exciting so far. The only thing that's super exciting though is that we do have a second interview with Jim Harbaugh this week. So could be the big news that us Charger fans have been waiting for. We did satisfy the Rooney Rule, so we could offer him the position if we after the second interview, and that's who I want personally. My second choice would be Vrabel, but on other interview news, we actually interviewed this lady named Dawn Aponte.
Sounds French.
I don't know, but she has a pretty nice resume. And it's nice getting the lady some love for the GM position as well. It'd be pretty cool to have a lady as a general manager, but her current position right now in the NFL is Chief Football Administrative Officer. And she's been, she has over 3 decades of experience in the NFL. So excited to kind of dive into her background a little more and see what she's about. But, congrats on the Chargers for giving the women some love on these interview coaching and GM carousel that we're in. And besides the slow coaching news, hopefully by next week we'll have some coaches for both our teams and some GM. Well, you guys don't need a GM, but
yeah, where's Vrabel gonna go, man? It's kind of weird.
Yeah,
it's an interesting one to monitor.
Yeah, because the Titans actually, there's I have it right here. The Titans are actually finalizing a deal with the OC for the Bengals, and so the Titans now are pretty much have their coach. So that kind of, and then the Raiders actually hired Antonio Pierce. So what's that leave? The Seahawks. It leaves the Falcons, who are probably going to go for Bill Belichick. The Panthers are still looking.
Chargers. Your Chargers as well.
Yeah, I'm a Chargers, but come on, we're not going to put that out there. They're getting Jim Harbaugh. Well, Washington, the Commanders, and we said Panthers. Yeah, so
I think that's it.
Yeah, we'll see where he goes. I can see him going to DC, Washington DC. So,
yeah, we'll see.
All right, man. Let's get into these games because they're exciting, man.
Yeah, lots of good games.
Yeah, the
this
divisional
weekend.
round definitely it paid off. It was better than Super Wildcard Weekend, which was had a couple dull games. But the first game that we saw was the Texans and Ravens, 34-10 with the Ravens winning. A little slow start for the Ravens, but they definitely dominated in that second half. What do you think? You think they'll start off a little slow because they rested for about 2 weeks?
Yeah, seems to be a recipe for disaster. Resting your guys last week of the season and having a week off in the playoffs to start a little slow.
They had 2 weeks off, bro.
Well, I know, just combining the two. Just not. I mean, the Ravens were such a better team, though. In this case, I don't think it mattered, but it's something to look at in the future. For if you have a closer matchup, I think it could really be a difference.
Yeah.
Because in the first half, the Ravens just looked slow. I mean, it was 10-10,
sluggish, right?
Yeah,
like.
But you take that punt return out of the game, punt return touchdown for Houston.
Yeah, because they got that in the first half, right?
Yeah, it was 10. It was 10-10 at halftime, and it ended 34-10.
Yeah.
So they
shout out to the fan who came up with this great saying. She had a sign. She said Lamar was LaMarvelous. Love it. And he was definitely LaMarvelous on the ground. He had 100 yards on 11 carries and rushed for 2 TDs as well. He also threw for 152 yards and 2 TDs. While the rookie sensation CJ didn't have the greatest game, but there were times in the game where he did look poised and unfazed. But I think overall it was just a little too much for the rookie to handle.
Yeah, I mean, CJ well exceeded expectations this year. So I think if I'm a Texans fan, I'm pretty excited about the future with him. I mean, super humble guy, and he's the truth. Honestly, I'm excited for their fan base. They deserve some wins over there. So
they do.
Congratulations to the Texans on a good season.
Congrats, boys.
Yeah.
For that game, we actually picked the right bet. We chose the Ravens to cover 9.5, and
looked a little dicey at halftime. We thought the parlay might be toast on game 1.
Yeah, that's never the best thing, man. Like when your parlay doesn't even hit the first game, can't even sweat for the rest of the weekend, man.
Sure, everyone can relate.
Yeah, so. But yeah, they covered, and again, the only only TD that the Texans had was that the punt return. Besides that, Lamar, he threw for 2 and rushed for 2. So congrats to the Ravens for moving on, and congrats to Lamar. I know he was he had kind of a bad playoff record, so he's definitely proving the doubters wrong and making that contract that he signed worth it so far.
Looked like the MVP.
Yeah, and you know what? Bringing up that contract real quick, man. There's a lot of teams that could have traded for Lamar, and a lot of those teams actually didn't even make the playoffs. Falcons were one of them. Jets were the other one. I know you're going to have to pay some big money, but I mean, it's paying off for the Ravens. And so congrats to Lamar on that.
Congrats, Lamar. we can talk about that contract hate on my end. We don't have a lot of time today, but we know this will come up in a future episode.
Yep. All right, man. Game number 2 was the Packers at 49ers, 24-21 with the Niners winning. But this is probably my favorite game. I don't know about you, Justin, but it was also the most painful because if you watched episode 1, we were pretty pumped up about going moneyline Packers.
Yeah, Packers money line felt like a ton of value. I mean, sometimes a pick can miss, and the Packers are winning 1 out of 3 times against the Niners. They looked like the better team. I don't think you can deny the Packers just missed their opportunities. They kicked too many field goals in the first half.
They dropped 2 potential pick sixes.
Yeah, I mean, tons. The DBs were dropping passes all weekend.
Yeah, Savage, he's usually pretty good with his hands as far as catching interceptions.
That's why they play defensive back and not wide receiver.
Yep, exactly. But that was a difference. I mean, look at the Niners. They capitalized on that game-winning interception at the end by the terrible fucking pass that Jordan Love threw. I mean, all you had to do was throw it away, bro.
Channeling his inner Brett Favre, man, like a true
boneheaded throw, bro.
But the difference is Brett Favre had the arm to maybe get that pass there. I don't know if Jordan Love's got the same arm strength.
Such a good game, man, for it to end like that. It was disappointing.
Yeah, it was the missed kick. This is why, just like with the Tinder Rizz earlier, you got to get field goal range isn't good enough. You got to get it in the end zone.
You got to get the TD.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of missed kicks, and we'll see if Anders Carlson has a job next year after that one.
I mean, he didn't really have the backup from his coach, right? LeFleur.
Yeah,
supposedly said to a reporter that every time the kicker goes out that they just pray. It's like, come on, bro, you don't tell the reporters that.
And why is he still your kicker? You
Exactly.
have the whole year to find someone. If you think that about the guy on your team, then go get a new kicker.
Yeah.
There's plenty of guys that you could have picked up off free agency.
Yeah. But I think overall, Love showed enough he's going to get a big contract. I mean, in this game alone, he completed 21 passes for 194 yards, and he threw 2 TDs. What killed him was that he also threw 2 interceptions. One of them was a tipped ball from the receiver, but that other one was the game losing throw. So he's definitely gonna have to work on that.
You think he'll be the highest paid? You think he's going to take the crown?
I don't know, man. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked, but I don't think he should be. But I wouldn't be shocked.
He definitely made himself some money in the second half of this season for sure.
And Brock, I mean, he looked a little off all game, but I mean, his numbers actually were a little better. 23 passes completed for 252. He only threw 1 TD, but he had no turnovers, which is, key if you're going to win in the playoffs. In the dance, you definitely want to protect the ball. And then on his final drive, Brock went 6 for 7, 47 yards, and he had 2 big-time third-down conversions. One was to Ayuk, and the other one was to Jennings.
Yeah, that pass to Ayuk was beautiful. Beautiful catch, beautiful pass.
Ball placement was great.
Yeah, Brock looked great on that last drive, and that's been one of the knocks against him. Like, can he come from behind? And he came from behind and won. So,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, credit to the Niners. They're not my favorite team, but they won the game.
Bro, quit lying to the people, bro. That's your most hated team.
Yeah, the Packers looked like a young team. They didn't convert like when they needed to, and the Niners did. So they're moving on.
Mm-hmm.
So congrats to them.
All right, and then again we had the Packers money line at plus 350.
So parlay was dead there, but man, we were already looking at cashing the ticket in the third quarter of that game.
Man, that's the problem when you make a nice parlay, and by halftime we're like, oh yeah, so if the Bucks can cover and the Chiefs can win, and then all of a sudden our hopes and dreams died with that game-winning drive from Brock and the Niners. But let's go up to the third game, man. Bucks at Lions. It was 31-23 with the Lions winning at home. The Lions just got a phenomenal story right now, man. But Baker and Goff, they were going back and forth, blow for blow. But in the end, it just became too much for Baker and the Bucks as the Lions, ran away with it in the fourth.
Yeah, Baker's getting paid in this offseason now too. Well,
Yeah,
he's going to get a pretty nice contract. Bet on himself, taking a 1-year deal. Looked awesome in the playoffs. Bucks were just outmatched in this game. I think they played all right, but Lions are solid. Lions are good.
Yeah, they are, man. They're definitely like the defense started showing up, because for a lot of the season it was kind of inconsistent. Either the offense was great, defense was bad, or the defense was great and the offense, couldn't sustain drives. But they're putting it together at the right time. There is word around the sewing circle, Justin, that Baker Mayfield may test the waters out in free agency because he only signed a 1-year deal. He bet on himself.
Why not?
And the rumor is if Bill Belichick goes to the Falcons, will he take Baker with him?
Anything can happen. I'm not even going to speculate on that. We got a whole off season to see what happens on that. But yeah. I mean, this game. I mean, I think the Lions got a pretty decent shot. I think they play similar to the Packers, just a balanced offense, good defense. And I think they got a shot to beat the 49ers next week. I think they got exposed a little bit by the Packers, but good game.
Yeah.
Kind of a controversial play at the end. Would you say at the end the kneel downs, not calling timeout when they could have had a shot?
Yeah. So Goff and them boys on the offense, man, they spiked the ball a little too early. They didn't let the clock go down. So I think there was like 39 seconds left, and it was 3rd and 12, and all the Bucks had to do was call a timeout. All of a sudden, the clock stops at like 30 seconds, and now it's a 4th down play, and then they'd have about 30 seconds, 25 seconds to try to make a run at a field goal or a touchdown, I guess. But
they needed a touchdown and 2-point conversion.
Yeah, but that's also with the Bucks or the Lions, I believe, where they were in field goal range, so they'd have to miss or get the kick blocked in order
and we all have seen that they very well could have missed that kick.
Yeah. Exactly. But besides that, I do want to give the rookies on the Lions a little bit of love. Gibbs was drafted in the 1st round, and you know what they say lately about drafting running backs in the 1st round. It's not worth it. But they're proving, and Daniel Jeremiah had this in the tweet. He's like, look, if you're going to draft a running back in the 1st round, make sure that you have a quarterback and an offensive line in place, because if you don't have those in place, you're going to get a Najee Harris type situation. So it doesn't matter how good your running back is if he ain't got no line or a QB to really open up the offense, and he's not gonna be able to produce. So Gibbs, he had 9 carries for 74 yards and a TD. He also added 4 catches for 40 yards, man. So he had a great game. Looked explosive. And then their tight end, Laporta, who you have as a potential keeper, he had 9 catches for 65 yards. And Brian Branch, their DB cornerback that they drafted in the second round, he had 9 total tackles, 8 that were solo tackles, 1 sack, and 2 tackles for loss. Now the real beast, bro, is the D end with Aiden
Hutchinson.
Yeah, man, he's not a rookie, but we got to.
He's in Nick Bosa's top 5, isn't he?
yeah. So is Max Crosby and Joey both, right? But I got to give him a little love too, man, because he's got this great 4-game streak of sacks.
8 sacks.
Yeah, 8 sacks. So he had 1 sack against the Bucks. He had 2 against the Rams. Week 18 against the Vikings, he had 2. And here comes some more Cowboy slander. He had 3 against the Cowboys in week 17, man. So he's averaging 2 sacks a game in the last 4 games. So big ups to him and the GM for the Lions, man, because they're drafting really well. And then also a little more slander to the Cowboys, just because we got to give Cowboys some more hate. I got to bring up this photo here, which is great. Since 1996, the Lions now have 1 conference championship appearance, and the Cowboys have 0. And since 2019, the Lions have 2 playoff wins, while the Cowboys only have 1. So, Cowboys, you guys can continue to suck
are y'all still them boys?
What boys? All right, man. Well, the bet that we picked there was the Bucks to cover 6. The game ended at 8 points, so there was a final play that Baker, when they scored a TD, they went for 2. If they would have got the 2, we would have pushed on the 6, but they missed the fade route to Mike Evans, so we lost there, which is unfortunate. But they had the chance to cover, so technically it wasn't a bad play.
We've made worse.
Yeah, definitely. All right, man. The last game here that we have is the Chiefs at Bills, man, and that was 27-24. Chiefs win. Again, it's hard to bet against Patty, man. So when you can get them at plus money, you just sometimes got to take it. As a Charger fan, I didn't want to add them in our 4-leg parlay, but it's like the Packers. It was just too much good value to put money on, and they hit.
The Bills were depleted, man. They barely brought enough linebackers to field out the roster. I mean, you got to feel for Bills fans.
Yeah, man.
And Josh Allen, in my opinion, played pretty well. I mean, he's not perfect, but he's putting that offense on his back, man. The guys, I mean, they got it. It's time to blow it up over there and start over. Diggs needs to go.
Bro, their fans shoveled snow for 2 weeks, bro, just for Patty to come in.
Their fans, you know what? Their fans are real as hell.
Bills Mafia, man.
We got respect for the Bills Mafia out here, for sure.
But if we take a look at the injury report, I mean, losing Kadarius Toney was a huge blow for the Bills, bro, honestly.
Yeah, they needed passes going off his hands into their defenders. That might have been the difference in the game.
Needed a little more offsides plays from them too, huh?
Yeah, maybe,
But this game was great, man. I mean, there was a lot of back and forth. I think there was about 5 lead changes. And also it was crazy because Allen, he had a couple big bombs, big plays, and there were drops, especially the one to Diggs. That was like I think it was like an 80-yard bomb right through his hands, bro. So, and then obviously the Tyler Bass miss from 44 yards as well for the game tying field goal. But let's be honest, bro. Like, if he would have made that kick, Patty still had a minute or 2 left to take him down the field. So who's to say that they would have won or went into overtime anyways? But it was bad for him to kick that in the playoff game at home.
Yeah, it's just weird the way it shanked out to the right. It's like there was like a fan in the stadium just blowing it out to the right.
Chiefs fans at home, all united, bro, with their fans.
Yeah, they all did the old fan trick on the TV. We might have to show the viewers that one day.
Yeah, we will. Now,
how about last one on that game? I'm going to say, how about any thoughts on Jason Kelsey jumping into the stands with his shirt off?
That was sick, man. Shout out to all the dad bods out there, man. He represented for you guys. And that was good to see, man. Kelsey's a man of the people.
Making me feel proud to be a man right there.
I got something for you, though, Justin. Check this out. In 2017, that's when Patty got drafted, right? The Bills, man, they did this to themselves, bro. They've been losing to Patty for what? This is like game 3 now in the playoffs that they've lost to Patty.
Feels like every year.
Yeah, man. So check it out, though. In 2017, This is when the Chiefs made the trade with the Bills. Chiefs went up and took the 10th overall pick from the Bills, and the Bills received the 27th overall pick that year, the 3rd round pick that year as well, and the 1st round in 2018. So although it was a risk for the Chiefs to move up, the Bills actually, accepted the trade with the Chiefs, and they're the ones who let the Kansas City Chiefs draft Patty Mahomes. So you got to kind of, Bills, I know you probably don't want to hear that, but it's kind of your fault.
Yeah, I mean, they also gave up the Vikings Jettas for Diggs. So maybe they've had a few mishaps over the years.
Yeah. But again, man, we went Chiefs money line, so that's how we went. So you can see on the graphic here, we went two for two. We got the Chiefs money line and the Packers points or the Ravens points correct.
Both those other games were winnable. I'd say this parlay was not a complete disaster.
It wasn't. But that brings us up to our Parlay Boy bets for this coming week. We got the championship games, the AFC and the NFC championship game. Since we went 2 for 2, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. So we're going to try a different approach this weekend. And we got a little video for you guys to check out. So check it out.
Hi. Sorry, I was supposed to call you earlier. So here's your question, okay? So you saw all the NFL games last week, right? You watched all of them. You saw how Green Bay did against the 49ers. Did you watch that one? Yeah?
I can't remember the 49ers one.
Yep, they did win. So this week they're playing the Lions. It's their first time going to the NFC Championship in really, really long time. And basically, 49ers are pretty big favorites, but we want to know who you think is going to win.
I'm rooting for Detroit.
You're rooting for Detroit? Is that who you think is going to win, though?
No, but I think I'm going to root for it.
So who's your pick?
Detroit.
Detroit? All right, good. That's all we needed to hear. Thank you. That's perfect. All right, bye, Mom. Thank you.
Bye.
Hi, Mom.
Hi.
I have a question for you.
What?
I
have no money.
Okay. I don't need your money right now, but so Lamar Jackson is the quarterback for the Ravens. He plays for Baltimore, and they're at home, and they're going to play Patty Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs for the AFC Championship Conference game. So I need you to pick who you think is going to win. Now, Patty Mahomes, he's won 2 Super Bowls, and he's got a couple MVPs. Lamar Jackson is probably going to be MVP this year, and he hasn't won a Super Bowl, but he is at home. Kansas City's on the road. Who do you got?
What? What do you expect?
Football. The playoffs, Mom. The playoffs.
Oh, and who's that?
So the Ravens are in Baltimore. They play in Baltimore against the Kansas City Chiefs. So the Chiefs are the road team, and whoever wins this game goes to the Super Bowl.
Oh, and gee, I don't know anything about that.
Come on, Mom. Who you gonna pick?
Okay, so who's Baltimore?
Baltimore's at home.
And the other one?
Kansas City is on the road. They're gonna go to Baltimore.
Okay. Well, I guess Baltimore.
You're gonna go Baltimore?
So I'm kind of thinking if I'm at home, I'm going to make a better effort to win, right?
Hell yeah, Mom.
Yeah?
Yeah. Now I need money because we're gonna put money on this game. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Love you. Thank you. Baltimore it is. Ravens. Bye. All right, guys. So our new approach for the AFC and NFC Championship 2 parlay bet is going to be what we call the Parlay Moms bets. So we're going to ride them out and see what we're going to ride the bets out. We're going to ride the bets out. Ride the bets out. But Justin, besides the Moms bets, what are your thoughts? What are you feeling?
Oh man, I like if we're talking spread, I like the underdogs. I think on both games, I like the Lions plus 7, and I'm not betting against the Chiefs again. I'm plus 3.5 is enough for me. I mean, they just make it close. They're one of those teams, kind of like my Hawks. They just kind of play to the level of their opponent, and they just do whatever they got to do to make the game close. I think the favorite's going to win both the games, but I like the underdogs to cover the spread.
Yeah, no, me too, man. I'm like, in my professional degenerate's opinion, I agree. I think the underdogs cover. I mean, I want the Ravens, to beat the Chiefs just because I'm a Chief hater since I'm in the AFC West. But it's hard to bet against Patty, man, like we talked earlier, So if I'm going to bet against him, I'm going to take him to lose by 3 or less. So I'm taking the points. And then obviously I agree with you on the Lions. I think they cover. I think they're going to make it a field goal type game, especially because the Packers kind of exposed their secondary.
I could see the Lions winning though.
No,
if I had to pick a money line, I think I could. I think the 49ers have more weaknesses than the Ravens.
Yeah.
The Ravens just feel so balanced.
Yeah.
Like they just don't really seem to have any flaws, and the 49ers definitely have a couple flaws. So we'll see what happens. I think they're going to be great games, both of them. So.
And those are coming up on Sunday, guys. So get your bets ready. Let us know what you're going to be betting in the comments section. But now let's get into our last segment of the show. This is our first interview with a guest. And again, we're going to be interviewing people who are up and coming in the respective fields. These are exciting and unique individuals. And our first guest is going to be Illus, who's a professional glassblower celebrating his 10 years in the industry, guys. So same shit, different day. First special guest, Illus.
Shout out, Illus.
Enjoy the interview. All right, guys. Welcome to the second episode of Same Shit, Different Day. This is our special guest segment, and we are excited to have our first ever guest of the show. This person right here is near and dear to my heart. He's somebody that I grew up with. I've seen him grow, and he's doing phenomenal things right now. He's a professional glass blower and a professional Niner fan. Help me welcome my cousin Joe Morelos.
Hey, what's up, Cody? I should say I
cuz I'm like excited to have you here, bro, as our first guest. Thank you for joining us. Before we even get into what your glass blowing in your career, we're actually just going to talk about the game real quick because your Niners got the dub. I was being a hater, but it was kind of a smart hater move because
I've been telling you all year, Cuddy. I've been telling you all year, because you've been doing some parlays and you've taken them against the Niners, and I was like, nope. And what happened? Every time I bet you probably lost them. So
all right, bro. But look, the Packers are playing good football, bro, and they smacked the hell out the Cowgirls, which we always got to give the Cowboys a little hate.
I would have liked to play the Cowgirls,
Cowboys.
But yeah, man, Green Bay put up a good game. They definitely did, and still got the W though, and that's all what matters. Whether it be 3-4 points or even 1, we got the dub.
Yep,
let's go.
And I know, but I just really like the money line. They're like heavy underdogs, and I think it was worth the payment if they were to win. Which honestly, they almost pulled it off. I mean, let's talk about it, bro. I mean, it was a 24-21 win from the Niners, right? Brock Purdy was a little off target all throughout the game. Love looked like the better QB overall, and they had the win up until that fourth quarter, bro. They're beating you guys. You know what I'm saying? They're playing you guys good.
No, and they definitely were giving it up to us. I think that week and a half off, sometimes can make you or break you, and maybe a little bit of rust, right? Like that's what they were saying. So once we got it dialed in and started showing up, we came through again with that W. But Brock, again, second year now? He was injured last time. He has that experience though, and I mean, it's starting to kind of just refine itself. Playoff time again. As long as everybody does their part, we all know everybody do their part and not mess up, no mistakes.
Yeah, and see that was the difference, man. Because what was in the first quarter?
We made a couple.
Well, yeah, but you guys capitalized on the mistakes at the Packers, and that was the difference in the game because Brock Purdy, he threw a couple. There's like at least 2 pick sixes that the Packers should have had in that first half, and they didn't capitalize. And what happened to you guys? You guys capitalized on that interception at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And that's what sealed it for you guys besides Brock. I mean, honestly, even though he wasn't spectacular, for most of the game, he was good, but he had to be great when he had to be great, and that was at the last drive. He was 6 for 7, 47 yards. He had that huge third down conversion to Ayuk, to keep it alive. And then
the Ayuk pass was nice. That one was good, but I think it was a little bit after Jawan Jennings. It was like a 15-yard one.
Yeah. Okay, I forgot about that one. Yeah, that was big too. I mean, all those plays right there, led up to CMC getting a 6-yard rushing TD, and that was the second TD of the game.
Let's go.
Dude's a beast. And
man, come on. CMC is just a hell of a year, bro. You can't tell me he's not like MVP candidate, if not maybe possibly winner. Who knows?
I don't know how the NFL didn't look at the NBA when they stopped that trade for I think it was like Chris Paul when he was going to go to Lakers and they stopped it. They should have did that with this trade, bro. Because there's no way that you guys should have got CMC, bro. No way.
Sometimes you have that missing player, and I think like man, picking him up and even on defense with I forgot his name.
Your defensive player?
The defensive player, Nick Bosa's college.
Chase Young.
Yep, Chase Young. Duh, yep. So with Chase Young
that was
coming
not
through,
as big as the CMC one. Like he's been good. He's been good, but he's I don't know if you guys are gonna resign him, to be honest.
Yeah, well, CMC though, man, keep that dog.
That was a cheat code trade,
bro. Grinding hustle because that's all he does is just hustle and grind. Yeah.
All right, cuz, well, tell us. I mean, how'd you become a Niner fan? What made you a Niner fan?
So as a little kid, I remember going to a party. It was all with family. We was my mom took us to one of my tia's house.
On the record.
And so and so I just showed up, and I remember seeing most of my family just all decked out with Niner gear, and I was like, "What's going on?" And a matter of fact, it was that 94-95 season when we beat the effing San Diego Chargers. So yeah,
you just had to bring that up.
You set yourself up for that because we beat you guys.
We're gonna get this interview.
And so that was the year. I still remember it. I was going to the party and everybody was all Ninered out. And I think that maybe there might have been one or two San Diego fans at the time there because we're from Fresno and stuff, so that was where it was at, Fresno, California. And so
since then,
I was just like, well, I'm going to be a Niner fan because I saw everybody wearing Niner clothes, and that's kind of where it all started.
You've been a Niner fan since I've known you.
Let's go. So yeah, man, I didn't make the wrong choice. I'll tell you that right now. Let's go.
Yeah, we'll see how it ends up this year. Speaking of that though, let's who you got? Lions, Niners.
Come on, dog. I don't even wait my bet on that one.
Give me your bold prediction. Give me your bold prediction.
Price point wise, I'm gonna say Niners by 6.
By 6.
I think it's gonna be a tough battle back and forth. But again, it's one of those things where like, okay, we got the rust off, we're ready to go, we're primed, and we know what's at stake. And don't get me wrong, Detroit, they got a cool story too. They haven't been in the playoffs, let alone to the NFC Championship in how long, and even win it. So
yeah. Now, because you guys are the spread right now is at 7. So if you think you're going to win by 6, if you're a betting man, you'd probably bet on the Detroit Lions points to cover. Or if you wanted to go money line, I mean, you guys are super heavy favorites at minus 305. So the better bet would be the points, but it's at 7 right now. But you were close, man. 6 is quite.
Yeah. So and so like well, as long as we don't make no mistakes and we're ready to go, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, and that's where you guys can capitalize on the Lions because Goff, he's known to not play the best on the road. And but your guys' defense, I said this in the first episode, man, and people kind of got at me. They're like, "What do you mean the Niners defense ain't as great?" Your guys' defense is good, but it hasn't been as good as it has been the last 2 years. So I think if Goff really wants to capitalize on you guys, it's really on your pass defense because that's what's the weaker part of your guys' defense is the pass.
If Drake Greenlaw was here right now, he'd body slam you, bro. He body slam.
Bro, I mean, look at Love. He was throwing the ball all over the field, bro.
Shout out defense. Let's go.
You guys' run defense is great, though, and you guys got good edge rushers, or great edge rushers, I should say. So it's going to be a great game, man. It's gonna be
it should be a good game. I think, again, close game, but we'll pull the W out for sure. For sure.
All right, guys. Well, now that we got the game out the way, still salty that the Packers didn't win, but you guys
shout out to the real GOAT too.
This is what your third NFC Championship game in a row, man. So you guys deserve it. You guys are consistent. So
yes, it's a nice era. The era with Shanahan has been pretty good. There's been some setbacks. Some costly mistakes here and there. Room for a little bit of improvement, but you can't tell me we're not there. We're ready to go, and so. Yeah, I think this could be the year. This could be the year. I've been. Yeah.
All right, I got one more question before we get into your glass blown. Okay,
for sure.
If you guys beat the Lions, who do you want to see? You want to see the Ravens or do you want to see the Chiefs?
Don't matter. We're gonna get revenge on whoever it is.
There's got to be a team you want to play more.
It don't matter. It don't even matter. It don't. Nope. Don't even matter. All right, don't even matter. We're gonna get the dub. Don't even matter.
In Vegas. Okay. All right, guys. Well, let's get into the glass blown, man, because this is exciting. Like you mentioned before, bro. You and me, we're Cali boys. We're both born in Fresno. We're over repping Fresno State. They got a great schedule coming up for this college football season as well, man. We're playing Michigan, the defending champs. and we got the Cougs in Fresno too, bro. So I'm gonna see. We should try to make that game, by the way.
Ooh. Yes.
But is Fresno, is that where you found your inspiration to be a glass blower? Because I mean, think about it, because like not a lot of people grow up saying, "Hey, I want to be a glass blower." You know what I'm saying? I want to be like a lawyer or something, you know. But you grew up and you're like, "Yo, I want to be a glass blower." So how'd you find that inspo, and was it in Fresno?
Yeah. So, you know, a lot of people ask me like, what got you into it? How'd you get into it? And I always try to tell people it's who got you into it. And so shout out to Diane Lynn. If you're out there, you know, just your previous student from your 3D art design class. And so it was in high school, you know, and so in high school, I did a lot of graffiti art and stuff, you know, being from Fresno, you know, it can be a rough place to grow up in. And so like, graffiti was kind of an outlet for me. And so one day, Diane, or again, my high school teacher, gave us an art project to do. I should say Miss Lynn. And so Miss Lynn gave us an art project to do. And she pretty much told us, hey, everybody, go make something out of anything that you want as a material to use. And so I decided to use glass. And so I asked my mom about this project. And I said, hey, can you take me to this store, which is in downtown Fresno? It's a stained glass store. So they sell stained glass, and still there, man, it's been there since I was a little kid. So that it's pretty cool. And so my mom drove me down there. And as soon as we walked into the store, it was cool seeing all these just colors of glass, and just seeing how light interacted with glass. It reminded me of when I would go to church with my mom.
Oh, the windows?
And then all the windows and the stained glass windows and stuff. So I'd be in church kind of like not paying attention, but I'd look at the windows, you know. And so I think that's where it all kind of stemmed from. But it was Diane Lynn that inspired me, because once I turned in the project, it was this, my mom had a hot glue gun. And so I made this dream catcher. It was a glass dream catcher. It had nothing to do with glass blowing. And so Miss Lynn, she gave me this documentary on glass blowing. And when I took it home that day and I watched it, that's when I was just like a little fuse just lit up inside me and just turned into a raging fire of like, man, that's what I would like to do in my life, and hopefully make a career out of that. And so you pursued it by going to Chico. Was it Chico State or Chico University? Chico State, Cal State University of Chico. And so I applied to a couple of colleges, but that was the college I actually got accepted to. And they have like a program for glass blown, or so Robert Herhusky, so that was the instructor there, and so rest in peace, because he actually just passed away last year. So that was the instructor there when I went to the university, and so I went in there. It's a crazy story, cousin, because so that summer before I got accepted, we had to do like a little, you know, we could show up to the campus, get to know the campus. And I tracked him down, and I was like, oh, hey, I want to become a glass blower. And so I would like to join the program. And so he said, well, we don't let freshmen in, first of all, and then you have to be an art major. And so when I went to college, I wanted to be a business major, entrepreneur, make my, try to be a businessman and just make some money off that. And so I switched over to art major. Second semester, before I started again, I tracked him down again. I was like, hey, I'm an art major. And I want to do the glass blowing. He's like, yeah, but you're still a freshman. And I was like, yeah, but you can't make any like special circumstance for me or anything. Like, come on. And I was just kind of persistent, kind of like, And so he said, well, it's not going to be up to me. It's going to be up to the class. So he took me he's like, show up on this day for the class. And if the rest of the people in the class kind of, take you on, they vouching for you, bro. Exactly. That's dope. I didn't know that. So I showed up, and Robert's like, hey, this is Joe. I found him in the summer, and he tracked me down, and he wants to be a glass blower. And so, do you guys want to let him in? And so there was a couple of people that gave me this kind of like, because again, you can't, the other thing, there was a catch. He's never allowed a freshman in his program. And so I was going to be the first freshman, I think. And whether that be true or not, I don't know, but I was. So they let me in. They vouched. He is like, all right, well, if they give you the A-OK. And so most of them were like, yeah, just you're not going to be able to make a lot of stuff. And I kind of like, make sure you take care of all the equipment, just like, because I'm the greenhorn, I'm the rookie, I'm a freshman. And these guys were all at least. Hey, you're that red shirt freshman or what? Sophomores, juniors, and seniors, right? And so
Well, then, so speaking of Chico, bro, I know that you had a few challenges there that you had to overcome. You elaborate on that a little bit.
Right. So again, it kind of goes back to my high school where I was doing graffiti. And so then I go to Chico and I'm still, vandalizing or doing my graffiti. Right. But it was also kind of an art form and expression of way to kind of, use it as an outlet from the streets because again, streets were a little rough where I was from. And so, not to, throw shade on any other streets, anything like that. But again, so graffiti did that. And so in college, I just really blew up this town and I got caught and I ended up doing probation. I had to pay fines, for the vandalism. I ended up getting a felony. So,
man, you had to do a lot of street art and graffiti to get a felony, right?
Let's just say I bombed the little city, man. I bombed that little
So
town.
Chico was all filled with illus all around.
Yeah, there might even be some illus little landmarks there, here and there. And so I got caught up, and throughout my probation period, there was a couple times where I missed payments. I was just young and dumb. Part of the stipulations was no drinking, passing drug tests, and again, young and dumb, man. And here we are.
Man. The rest is history, bro.
Still drinking a little bit, but not as young, and definitely not as dumb. But
all right, man. Well, let's talk about like where you at now, right? So I know you're playing the boy who cried wolf for a long time with me. So, I've been in Seattle for almost 20 years now. And you would always hit me up. You'd always be like, cuz, like, I'm going to go move with you. I'm going to go move with you. And I was like, all right, yeah, do it. And then you just never did it, bro. So the more you told me, the more I was like, man, this fool's playing. He's blowing smoke, because right then you weren't really blowing glass at the time. And then finally, what was it in 2010, I believe, is when you finally just showed up at my door with Cujo, rest in peace.
Rest in peace,
and,
Cujo.
You actually moved in with me and Reynoso, the California Oso in Renton, bro. And from that point in 2010, when you moved in, you had your goal set that you wanted to be a glassblower professional. How long did it take you from that point when you moved in with us in 2010 to really, break that glass door and get yourself into the industry?
Well, yeah, I moved out here in 2010, and so again, right before that, I had actually just got out of jail, and so because of some of the things that had happened with my graffiti and my felony and all that, I got, I ended up getting locked up for a little bit, just some time, got out, and I just knew right away, I gotta fix this. I gotta turn it around.
Needed some change.
Yeah. And so, I ended up saying, yo, Cuddy, I'm going to move out there finally for reals. And so you're like, yeah. Right. You're like, yeah, whatever. Came out here and I showed up on the door with Cujo, and that was my English bulldog that I used to have. And 2010, right? And so it took me 4 years because I tried right away to kind of get into the industry, but unfortunately, I didn't finish college because again, I got caught up and did all this stuff. And so I did take a couple of semesters of glass blowing. And so with that experience that I took, I brought that over here, and I tried to apply a couple of different studios, whether the studios were full of employees or that people just didn't like the experience that I had. Excuse me. Nobody was trying to give me the opportunity to really kind of work for them. And so I kind of got sidetracked, and I was just working a regular 9 to 5 and just kind of paying bills, right? Making dues meet. And so,
which is normal because you're in a new city, new area, away from home.
And so, it wasn't until 2014 when my girlfriend at the time, which is now my wife, she kind of she moved up here, and she was like, hey, whatever happened to glass blowing? And so if it wasn't for my wife, she kind of wouldn't have gave me that spark again. And so I started reapplying to jobs.
Yeah.
And so that's when I came across an artist by the name of Ryan Blythe.
Okay.
Shout out to Ryan. Shout out to my wife, first of all. Forget you, Ryan. Yeah, of course. Family and friends, family always on top of everybody first, but friends become like family sometimes too, right? And so Ryan gave me my opportunity first, and
that was at the old Rainier Brewery, right?
Yeah, okay. He had a glass blowing studio at the old Rainier Brewery off the I-5.
Yeah,
and it was kind of an apprenticeship at first, right? Kind of I still kept my regular 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, and then I'd go over there on the weekends and just kind of work for free for a bit, and then eventually, the dividends paid off, and eventually I got onto the payroll. I ended up dropping my regular 9 to 5 and I just pursued it full time. And so that was 2014.
Yeah.
This year will be my 10-year mark, my 10-year anniversary in the industry, cuz.
Hell yeah, cuz. Well, congrats to the 10-year anniversary.
Yeah, no, and it's been a fun ride, man. And so we went from the old Rainier Brewery down to Georgetown. Shout out Georgetown, right? And Rainier Brewery, Washington, and just the Pacific Northwest has been a beautiful place. You know, I've adopted it as my new home. I'm what you call a transplant out here, right? And so it's been a fun ride. I've met a lot of people, and I've been able to use my art to make a living, and that's been fun. And
let's talk about that real quick. So now you're officially at the Seattle Glassblowing studio.
Yep. So now I'm at this studio now,
and it's got a little history, right? I mean, it's gotten blown up a little bit. It was in the show The Amazing Race.
Yes.
It's Seattle's, what you call it, like the hidden landmark of Seattle.
Oh man, it's like a gemstone. The hidden gem, right? Because it's a landmark out here that's been around for over 30 years. It's right off of Fifth Ave in the Belltown district, just a couple blocks from the Space Needle. And people walk by it all the time, but little do they know it's not just a glass gallery. It's also in the back is where we manufacture and make some of the pieces for people all over the world. Yeah.
And you're a instructor, right? So
And so currently as my job, you know, when it comes to the glass industry as a glass artist, you know, you definitely got to build up that skill set to even get there, to maybe even term yourself a glass artist per se. And so a lot of glass blowers may start off working at a factory, working like I did for an artist and just kind of taking lessons from them, or being an instructor, a teacher, and just teaching other people how to do it. And so currently, instructor, part-time there, and then trying to establish myself more as an artist and making my own line of work and trying to just build off that to where maybe I can spawn away from instructing and really focus on my own line of work.
Okay. And so now you've created your own signature, right? Illus, that's your artist name. Well, that used to be your graffiti name, but
that's where it all stems from. That's where I was when I used to graffiti. I'd write
beautiful, Joe.
Illus,
which is a beautiful transition. You took a negative and turned it into a positive with your art now with glass blowing. But you've created your own signature style, and it was inspired by chess. You're a big chess fan.
Yes.
And so I remember you telling me that, you know, it started off as pawns, but now you've created something bigger. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about that, and we can share some of the pieces you brought in.
Sweet. Yeah. So in college, when I was at Chico State, me and my roommate, John, we were avid chess players. And so till this day, now that he lives out in Japan, we still play online. Right. And so I've always questioned myself as like, what was going to be the first piece that I would market as my art theme or my piece. Right. And so I started off with these little, just kind of simple forms of like these kind of pawn shapes, nice little bubble with some contour to your bubble. But then I added a crown on top of the bubble. And so that just kind of transformed it. Yeah, you got the example there. I got a couple here. And so it turned itself into a king or a queen. And so for you chess players out there, as you know, the pawn is the one that can work its way across the board and turn into a king, or excuse me, a queen, which is probably the most powerful piece on the board, right? And so here's a couple of other examples. They start to get a little bit more intricate, more a couple of different designs, different shapes.
This one right here is my favorite, bro. You put some really good color and
that's probably one of the most intricate ones I made there, Cuddy.
Okay.
And while we're at it right now, I'm gonna let you go ahead and have that one.
Oh, thank you, bro.
Yeah, that one's for you, cuz.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that one's for you right there, man. I ain't kidding.
Let's see,
that's probably the most intricate one that I've made till this day.
Well, thank you for that, bro.
I'm gonna put
find a spot for it. It's a little like camouflage into that one, but yeah, I'm gonna put it back
wherever you want. You could keep it around, but man. And so these kings and queens, I decided to start marketing and publicizing those as my first pieces, and I have sold a couple. And so it's been really inspiring to know that people were actually supporting my art. Yeah. And so hopefully I can keep distributing them a little bit more and more throughout, you know, hopefully the world, and expressing more of my art line work too, like my lineup of work. So this is just one theme. I got a couple of other themes. I got some, again, graffiti style glass where I blow up these letters. They all kind of resemble bubble font. and then I just fuse all the letters together. They're all components, and there's been a couple of glimpses here and there on my Instagram and stuff like that. But yeah.
Yeah, well, I know people can follow you on Instagram. We have your handle right there at the bottom, illus_1. You also have a website, which is illusglass.com.
Yeah.
And do you have an email that you want to share? If people want to go ahead and book a time with you so you can do a session?
Yeah, if people want to book a private session with me or something like that for now, you could go ahead and reach out to me. It's pretty straightforward. illusglass@gmail.com.
Okay.
And I also just, if you wanted to make a commission piece, I take on commissions a lot too. So I'm hoping to take more, you know.
Oh, sorry to cut you out there, because the commission piece is more like if somebody wants to make like a specific thing, right? Like
a custom made piece, whether it be like a utilitarian piece, you know, somebody wants custom cups, maybe a vase for some flowers. If you wanted to get a little bit more intricate, we can do like an installation where you have like a big chandelier.
Ooh,
and it could evolve from anywhere, you know.
And it's by the hour, right? So you can discuss that with them.
It could be by the it depends. It just depends on the piece. And all those details that we would discuss amongst ourselves.
And I know you did 2 shows, and we'll wrap it up with this, because I know you've done 2 shows so far where you were the main artist performing live. And it was a great show. You know, you had a lot of people turn out. You also, it was catered as well. JJ Soul Food, shout out to our boy Jesse.
Shout out to JJ.
And are you planning on doing something in the future again?
Yeah, you know, I got this thing again. It's my 10-year mark. I got my 10-year anniversary coming around the corner, so I'm gonna get confirmation later. But I might end up doing like another little private event, so a little bit more exclusive, I would say. And so won't be really to a lot of the public, but we'll see. But yeah, definitely want to plan something up here in the next couple weeks. Definitely no more than maybe 2-3 months. And,
and everybody, and you'll be able to, so the people, our listeners, they'll be able to find that information on your Instagram or on your
I'll definitely be marketing it if I get it all confirmed and dialed in.
And you know, Same Shit Different Day about to be posting that shit too, boy.
Hey, shout out to Same Shit.
Hey,
different day.
All right, cuz man, this is exciting, bro. This was fun. You know, we're excited to see where you go with this. I know you have a lot of fans out there right now.
I appreciate the support, man. I really do. Like on that note, like, man, it really is kind of sometimes surreal seeing that support. And just hopefully, you know, like you said, I appreciate the good wishes, and hopefully people would like my art and can support and support you as well, you know, and gotta have families back. So again, shout out to Same Shit Different Day.
Hey, now, Cuddy, before we end this interview, though, there is one thing I want to do. Can you think of, and don't say the name just yet, but who is somebody right now in your life, whether it's an acquaintance, a family member, a friend, that's doing something like you? It doesn't have to necessarily be art, but just growing something, becoming something, or achieving their goals. Who is somebody right now that is doing that, and you want to be supportive? Because I've always been a fan of positive energy. You know, everybody likes to, you know, I like to pay it forward, because a lot of people show me love, and that's what I'm doing with you. I'm showing you love. So what I want you to do right now, if you got that person in your head, is give them a quick phone call or FaceTime. Let them know you're on this podcast, but just tell them thank you and that you support them and that you're proud of them.
So you want to hit somebody up right now on the live or on the right now? Call somebody that I can think of. You know, right off the bat, it'd be shout out to the Reynoso for the California also. You know what I mean? That's like, again, family right there.
Give our boy a call.
Huh?
Call him.
Let's see if he answers.
Put it on
real
speaker,
quick, man. If you don't answer, I'm still leave a voicemail.
Leave him a voicemail. Just say, hey, you know, I'm trying to pay it forward, supporting you. You know, whatever you want to say, because this one small message can change, you know, somebody's day.
Yeah, man, that's my dog.
Hello. Sorry, I couldn't come to my phone right now. But please leave me a brief message, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you.
That's my dog. That's my dog. Hey, what's up, big dog? Just calling you real quick on this podcast with Cuddy, and you know, just want to say, bro, you've gone through a lot, and you're still doing your thing, and that's very inspiring to me, man. So I hope you keep doing your thing, and inspire other people as well. And yeah, just gonna pay it forward. Shout out to Reynoso, the California Oso.
Woo woo! All right, man. Well, Cuddy, again, thank you, bro. This was fun. We got to do this again sometime. And, we're excited to see your new pieces that you're going to make and where you're going to take your career, bro. So make sure to, post all the events coming up and we'll be able to share.
I'm not too good at the social media marketing stuff, but I'm going to get dialed in and try to get that better, get someone helping me out with that. Bro,
so thank you again, Cuddy.
But as far as the glass pieces, y'all, yep, I'm the glass king, the queen, trying to make it happen. You know what I mean?
Queen, baby.
Pun intended.
Let's sign out.
But yeah, thank you guys. Thank you, cuz. Thank you, cuz. And thanks for anybody watching and supporting and any future supporters. Really appreciate y'all.
Yep. All right, man. All right, guys. Exciting interview. We are excited to see where Joe goes, in his career as a glass blower. And we're going to have some more guests coming in the near future. So be on the lookout for those. And yeah, guys, that's episode number 2. We're excited to continue to grow this, and we can't do that without you guys. So make sure to like, subscribe, follow us on YouTube, Apple. You can stream us on Apple and Spotify, and then you can follow me and Justin on Twitter and Instagram. Our handles are on the screen. But go ahead and share this with anybody you want. We're in, give us some suggestions and give us your bets as well in the comments, guys.
All right, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see week 3. Episode 3.
Yeah, episode 3.
All right,
and this
episode
will be
3
after the conference championship games.
We'll know who our Super Bowl contenders are. So tune in.
Let's see if the mamas pick better than the boys.
Let's go.
All right, guys.
Parlay mamas.